thanks again to invite me, and for me it's a pleasure to be part of this interesting and beautiful project. So now I'd like to introduce our guest, Arman Avetikyan. Okay, good morning, Arman. How are you?
Hi everybody. I'm fine, thank you. You?
Perfect. So just to introduce Arman, I'm very happy and honored to introduce Arman because Arman was my former student in a knitwear lab, and Arman is here because after discussing about product design, communication design, service design, now we'll try to discuss about a little bit about fashion design. And Arman is a fashion and knitwear designer. He began his studies in architecture and specialized in fashion design in Russia. In 2014, he moved to Milan, where he continued his studies, graduating in knitwear design, of course. And in 2018, he relaunched his knitwear project, Froi, that is one of the topic of today, and he won the third edition of the Talents sponsored by Linea Più. Linea Più is one of the most important Italian spinning mill that we have in our industry. Arman has worked for well-known international brands such as Oakley, Giorgio Armani, Net-a-Porter, and Massimo Piombo, and since 2020, he has been in charge of the luxury section of Colombo Industrie Tessili. So, Arman, it's a pleasure to discuss with you, to be here with you, and please, we can start our discussion starting from your keywords: new generation, explore, and be curious. Because when we asked you to discuss, to give us a statement, you respond us with, as a sailor, you have to understand and the wind and your destination. So, in your experience, what it is it's very interesting, this kind of metaphor, designer as a sailor, and the designer as a sailor needs to understand the wind. So, in your experience, what's the wind, and what's your experience as a designer sailor?
Okay, thank you, Giovanni, for introducing me. It's a very pleasure to be here. And first of all, sorry for my English. I never learned it. I can try to explain with my simple English, very simplificate in very simplificate way. And okay, my experience in the fashion world, I have a background little bit different from like a study from fashion world, because I started my studies like architecture, and but when I finished it, I understood like it's not my way to begin to like professionality. I don't like it. And I decided to start it to studying the fashion design. And my experience, like sailor designer, it's I don't know from which part I can start it, because it's
yeah, fashion is very complex. It's a very complex word, and in Italy, fashion is representing one of most important part of the industry. And with your background, like architect and then fashion designer, how can you why firstly, why you decide to lose your architectural studies and prefer fashion design? Why? Because it's more what?
No, it was very simple, simply because I don't like the mathematical part of architecture and physical part of architecture. Okay, it's very interesting, but all we have the preference. Like I like this kind of work. I like this kind of work. The work the works where you have to be very structural,
Structured.
yeah, like much more technical than creative, and I decided, okay, maybe it's interesting, like concept, I like it, but for me it's gonna be very difficult to practice, because
Practice architecture.
yeah, and I started my studies in fashion design in Russia, but fashion design in Russia, it's not so. Yeah, it's interesting, but I decided to change the place, because if you want to work in the fashion industry, you have to move or in Italy or in France. But I wanted I decided to go in Italy because it was much more interesting. Because in Italy, you have the fashion system in that you can find every kind of or production and realization, and the fashion brands is
It's true. Yeah,
and
it's true, because in Italy we have all the still now, and we hope in the future we have all the supply chain from the with the industry that work from the raw material to the final product, like the brand. And you are now a designer that are working with manufacturer, because Colombo Industria Tessili is one of the most important producer, Italian producer in Italy, and of course you had an important experience in Giorgio Armani, that is one of the probably the most important Italian brand in the world. And how is possible to combine this different the different approach? Because I think that there is an approach with the manufacturer, and there are another kind of approach when you work with a most important brand.
Look, it was for me like the self-experience, experimentation, because as the fashion designing fashion, it's and designing fabrics. It's okay. You can think like the system can be similar, but it's totally different, because designing fashion, you put much more attention for the form or colors, or I don't know, some details. And I was very curious and interested to understand the fabric design, because it's much, for me, I think it's much more like product design, and I think for me it was very important because you can put together the both experience. And okay, I want to be the fashion design, but with background of fabric design and understanding like how it's work, and in which how it's work, and how the fabrics made of. It can help me to do my fashion design in the very professional way, because you know, okay, in the university, also in Politecnico, they explain you what is it, the fabrics, what is it, how they made of, and it's very you have some information very generally. But when you understand how it's work, why this fabric it's so fluid, how it's made of, or why is the fabric so, I don't know, for the winter or for the summer season, and it can help you to do fashion design much more faster, much more professional way, and it can help you also to do the real design with the right prices, with right quality, with right I don't know, everything. And for me it's very important because, you know, when I was in Giorgio Armani, it's a very big company, and in every very big company you can learn so many things because it's so big, and it's I don't know how we call it. It's like
the project is more complex because probably you need to understand the ideas of the creative director about the collection, and probably you can, as a designer, respect this kind of ideas that the creative director give you, and you transform in a real potential clothes. It's very interesting that you are saying, because it's very interesting, this kind of distinction about design a fashion product than fashion design, because it's important in our point of view to understand that when we approach to a design, a clothes, a piece of clothes, a pair of shoes, an accessories, and so on, we are talking about an industrial object that has all the characteristics of the industrial object. So it's important to know which are the process that can help you to generate the final object, and it's important to understand how can you transform or influence the Italian producer, exactly what you are saying. For example, the textile producer, how can you transform or rethink a textile just to influence the final collection and the final ideas about collection. That seems very interesting.
Also, I think because you know, in the fashion design now the situation is changed, because it's not enough to do like just the aesthetic part of some outfit. You have to think and design in the way, like to be much more responsible to do kind of product that gonna be the product with every concept in the necessary to be the product in this moment, because it's like design, and you have to do in this smart way with kind of production it's not important to explain for the final consumer. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
No, it's important. Probably today it's very important to inform and have a discussion, a continuous discussion with final clients to inform them about the material, about the process that generate a single product, and it's and for me it's important what do you use as an explanation about your statement. Exactly, your statement was, as a sailor, you have to understand the wind and your destination, and in your explanation, you send us this kind of sentences. The world and the environment around us may constantly change, but we have to think clearly about our destination and to explore new research fields and new areas or scenarios. The same way we understand the wind, and this and it is important in our sector because, as you said before, in the fashion world, we are assisting to a completely change about the paradigm. Probably we need to think in other way our dress, our clothes, and as I explained with my students, in my classes, if we believe that design can embody values such as authenticity, honesty, or integrity, we cannot merely harbor them commodities. We must change focus from fashionable goods to the practice of fashion, and what we can call fashion abilities. So we must change the point of view about fashion. And
sorry, and I think in this situation and this new situation of the post-COVID world, it's gonna be change everything, every approach, because after in the post-COVID world, everybody the designers have to be much more responsible for all kind of product design, like much more sustainability, and we pay more attention to the ethical part of production or of the working generally. It's gonna change every kind of work in the fashion industry, I think.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And you and your Freud project was part of the important event 2 days ago in Galleria Sozzani, Maino Sozzani. Was a sort of event like White, where in that gallery all the new brand promoted and designed by new designers with a focus, especially with a focus on sustainability, was presented, and your Frori project was presented there. What's your ideas about your project, your Frori project? Which is the brief? Which is the ideas? Which are the product?
You know, my project, our project, was born like the artistic project. It was like, okay, what we can do? We do so many different things, like performance or video, music video, or something in the artistic way. And when I decided to changing the direction of my project and do like the fashion project, the artistic part, it's now is inside of our brand. The briefing of Freud, it have to be, it's gonna be fashion brand with every fashion rules, but it's gonna be in the sustainability way. It's very important for our project because it's for us, it's like it is, and it's normal. Nobody we have to explain our artistic way and our creativity, not just to say, speak like sustainability, because it's should be like this, sustainability, everything.
Of course, yeah. Sustainability is a new kind of way to design a product also in the fashion system, and it's important that about this new kind way. I appreciate in Freud project this kind of mix about arts, design, fashion, movie, because that you when you presented your Freud project in our lab was very interesting to see this kind of cross fertilization between different kind of language, multimedia language mixed with artistic and design too. And I appreciate also that you are trying to work with all the artisanal part that we have also in Italy, because you explained me 2 days ago that the accessories was made by a specific craftsman in Tuscany. The yarn come from the most important Italian spinning in Piemonte. So also your ideas about Freud is to try to recognize the most important values in our supply chain, and how can promote this kind of values of our supply chain in your project, and that's very, very interesting.
Yeah, you know, for me, it's like first of all, I'm very curious when come in the new places. For me, it's very interesting to know every kind of culture present in this area. You know, when I find, For example, Pezzotto from Valtellina. For me, it was like, wow, we can do so many things, because it's very interesting, traditional, and we also working.
Pezzotto. We can explain what is the Pezzotto to our friends. Pezzotto is a specific. It's a specific production, a very artisan production by Valtellina. Also in Sicily, we have a sort of thing similar of Pezzotto, and Pezzotto it's a piece of textile that reuse different kind of textile that people try consider trash, and it's possible to rework and give a new kind of view, life of this textile. So yes, Pezzotto, it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting textile pieces.
Yeah, it's all the carpet from Valtellina made of from waste. Okay, it's for me it's waste, like the, for me it's sustainability from pest because it's very interesting, and we also collaborated with some artisan from Valtellina. Let's say it's very important to study, do some research with local cultures, and renovate with some technicals, modern technicals, to give birth some new products. And we use this system to growing the accessories made of from industrial wastes, industrial fabric wastes. It was the real result. It was very interesting, and for us it was like, okay, for us the sustainability, we have to do in this way, not just like
and it's important that if we are earnest about the virtues of sustainability, as you are saying, the honesty, integrity, authenticity, and commodity support, we can think fashion as a tool for cultivating these ideals in the living practice of our users for these values, and re-evaluating this kind of values. Arman, we have just two minutes because time's gone. So about now, you are a designer. You are a fashion designer, you are a textile designer, you are a designer with an important experience in this kind of fields. What could be a possible suggestion that you can give to our students, to our young designers, to our young people that we are with us during this broadcast?
Oh my God! First of all, to be curious, like for curious of everything. To oh my God, how is it made of? Oh my God, what is it? And to read many information in all kind of design, or I don't know, because you know in such many people like from fashion design or product design, they are thinking, okay, I am product design, okay, I am fashion design, but it's all design, and you have to do
exactly.
You have to be curious, like, okay, I'm fashion design, but how how they work for product design, how they work for architecture. I don't know, because for me, it's architecture. It's like from in the
a big product. Architecture, it's a big product. I know.
Yeah,
so,
and
Arman, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was very interesting. That's the point. Design, fashion design. It's important, and to be curious in our world. So, thank you very much for your time.